Hello everyone, my name is Danish Buns. Welcome back to another exhilarating yet slightly depressing game of Starcraft 2, Heart of the Swarm, of course. Now, what do I mean by Heart of the Swarm? I mean the expansion that just came out, silly. Guess what units I'm actually going to use from this game? I'm actually going to use none of the Heart of the Swarm units, but my opponent tries to get a little bit silly, so I thought, you know what the hey, let's do the shenanay. I don't know what that means. Brunner Wings will be my opponent, the fellow Protoss, trying to get his mining up. It's quite cute, really. Now, I don't know if you guys have been playing Heart of the Swarm, but I should say that I've had a ton of fun playing this game. Now, there's a lot of interesting units. I think Zerg may not have gotten the greatest of updates, in my opinion. That doesn't really matter. That doesn't mean Zerg is any worse off. It's just I wish there were more interesting units to play through. By far, I think the most interesting unit that I've seen and I've faced against was and is the Widow Mine. I absolutely love getting obliterated by Widow Mines. In fact, I've almost stopped most of my just pure Zergling play rather, just because Widow Mines are so dang good. They're so good. They're ridiculous. Like, I'll lose my entire Zergling army if I don't preemptively check what the heck is going on. So I really do not appreciate the fact that Terran got such a wonderful, majestic unit, and all our Zergies got was some silly swarm hosts. Gonna try and kill this fellow pro before he deals any damage, as I scout his base and basically see nothing out of the ordinary. It's pretty standard play for what a Protoss would do. My drone is being a little silly and just walking around the map as I continue to try and get as many harvesters as possible. Now, one of the key things about Zerg is pumping those harvesters out as quickly as you can. You have to actually sit there and spam that button, or else you will fall behind. It's a guarantee. So really, if you're a fellow Zerg and you're having trouble with that sort of thing, make sure you get those units out as fast as possible. You're going to get a substantially large lead on your opponent. It's actually sort of disturbing how quickly you can get a lead on a player with only just a couple drones mining. So do that. That's a thing. Do it. All right, getting that expansion. My fellow Protoss is going for that cybernetics core, that forge, that gateway, and double gas. So it's interesting to see what he's planning on doing. Probably some Oracle play or something similar to that extent. He's definitely going to do some sort of early push or some sort of early attack. Of course, I'm saying this because I actually played this game, so I basically just ruined everything. Deal with it. Deal with it. Actually going to drop a photon cannon there. Sort of interesting. It's going to be enough to hold off any sort of Zergling push that I'm going to do. But since I am not fond of Zerglings anymore, thanks to the Terran overlords, I'm actually going to avoid that. Still working on getting those bases mined out. Still working on getting those drones out as well. Actually find myself almost supply blocked. I hope that's an overlord. It is an overlord. Excellent. Good job, Danish. I actually could have made some drones there. I don't know why I waited, but I did, because that's how I roll. Getting this expansion up, it's going to be up very soon. We actually see an overlord. We actually see a base. We actually see drones. I don't know why I'm talking about what we're actually seeing. I don't know why I have some sort of weird speech impediment, but what I do know is that I'm playing my game quite well. Let's actually check out the APM there. Quite silly from yours truly. I'm actually hitting quite large amounts in terms of my APM, but I'll promise you guys, it's not actually me being technical in terms of what I'm clicking. I'm clicking all over the map. I'm going crazy. I sometimes have sort of mini seizures where I just spam click so much and I actually forget what I was doing at that moment in time. It's sort of embarrassing. Alright, actually going for quad gas right here to try and support my roach play. Gonna get that queen out and spit all over that hive. And we can see our opponent is finally going to get that expansion out. And I actually just had my expansion come out, so I'm actually leading him in terms of harvesters. Now you can see the difference that's going to make. I am mining quite a bit more than him. So I'm actually going to see a sort of spike right here. I'm going to have some more gas coming in as well. And it's actually pretty interesting to see what happens in terms of getting those extra miners. Now I'm actually going to pop out 2 Evo chambers and a Roach Warren to prepare for my Roach play as my opponent tries to get his expansion. Now I'm actually witnessing this expansion. I know what the timing is on it, and I'm not too nervous. He did sit on 1 base for quite a while, so there is a chance that he's going to be doing something silly on that 1 base, but in reality, I should be able to hold it with just 2 queens at a base. It really shouldn't be too much, depending on the timing, of course. And as you can see, there you go. You have the Oracle coming out, going to be trying to deal some form of damage to my worker line. So that's going to be sliding out over there. What can we see from Danish? What can we see from his army? We can see that he has currently basically nothing. His entire army really is in his queens. I don't know why I'm talking about myself in the 3rd person. Does it seem more technical to you? It really doesn't sound very good at all. This poor little drone got lost, but it's fine. I was there to guide him. I just gently walked him over to the mineral field and told him, mine this crystal. And he did exactly what he was told. Oracle sliding in, going to actually spot this expansion and try and deal with it. He's actually going to manage to kill off a little bit, but he's forced to pull back, and my queens are going to finish that off. So, as you can see, wasn't really worth it. He managed to kill 2 drones there. He really needs to kill 6. 6 drones in order to actually make that an effective Oracle, and queens are just too strong to any sort of push. That comes from Oracles, really. So if you can get them out in time, you can actually hold that quite well. Now, we should start seeing roaches start pouring out of my base. Our opponent has made some sort of interesting gate wall off. So I'm not going to be able to attack him unless I just walk this way. I'm not going to be able to break this wall, guys, unless I just walk straight into his base, you know? It's just a strategy that I've been developing. It's something that I've been working on for quite a while now. I think it's quite effective. And as you can see, I am just mining way more than my opponent, and this is just going to put me massively ahead. And it just amplifies the fact that you really need to make sure you're mining properly from each of your bases. I'm not even fully maxed out on these bases, but it's enough to actually put me that much further ahead. I almost have double in terms of total minerals mined, and especially gas as well. So I don't know why I'm trying to teach things. You guys probably know more than me. You guys are just here for the silliness. You guys are here for me just talking depressed and crying to myself because I am actually incompetent. So let's actually get back to that. Popping out more roaches. Going to be building this roach army up. As you can see, I'm actually getting 2 upgrades. I remembered it this time. Getting those 2 upgrades, popping out some more roaches, popping out some more overlords, making sure that I don't get supply blocked. Of course, I'm making sure of this retroactively. Thankfully, our opponent, he's sort of supply blocked as well. And I think in this scenario, his supply block is slightly worse than mine. You know, if I were to measure or quantify slightly, you know, that seems slightly worse. So I'm actually going to get out quite a few roaches. 2-2 is going to be finished very soon, pumping out 12 more as my opponent really works on getting another gateway in his barely mined out base. Now this is something you guys, that is something you should watch out for. You should never have more than 25. You actually want to be less in some cases. When your drones start walking sideways, that's when you actually lose mining time. So try and transfer some of those over, get them into here so you can actually mine properly. But it's alright, it's okay, because in comes Mr. Danish Buns, hero, Danish Buns, walking in, just gonna try and deal as much damage as possible. Brunner Wing says, well, this is unfortunate, GG. I am just busy clicking things, I say GG, and I continue to clean up his base in a total annihilation victory. Pretty awesome if I do say so myself. Apparently I sat in this game for quite a while. I just like watching roaches destroy things, honestly. They're just so beautiful when they're working. Destroy that. I'm actually going to continue to destroy things. Why am I still in this game? I want to believe that I was just so sidetracked. There we go. Awesome. That's a game that you guys should actually... Honestly, if I were to ever show you a game to study off of that I've completed, this by far is a game that I would show you. And it's not because I do well. It's because my opponent makes me look like I do well. So I thank everyone, including my opponent, for allowing that to occur. But Brunner Wings, of course, is a gentleman and a scholar, and I look forward to the day that I meet him on the battlefield and he proceeds to wipe the floor with me. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. My name is Danish Buns. I will see you next time.